Hey family, it's Natasha and welcome back to my channel. We are making today baked lemon pepper chicken wings. Now, I'm a fan of chicken wings and they seem to taste the best fried. But as y'all know, on this channel, we're trying to figure out healthier ways to make foods that we love using mostly whole ingredients. So for this recipe, I have 2 pounds of chicken wings that I have already washed and patted dry. I read somewhere where people said don't wash your chicken wings. I didn't grow up like that. I don't know where they get that from. Somebody send me a link of what the drawbacks could be from washing your chicken wings. I don't know, but send me a link if you know anything different. I'm still gonna wash my chicken wings though. Anyway, so we've got our chicken wings. The trick to making crispy oven baked chicken is to have a wire rack. And this is the only one that I have, and it came out of my rotisserie oven. The chicken has to be raised. And then you wanna put something under it so the juices and the fat can drip down so your house doesn't turn into a fire hazard or your oven doesn't turn into a fire hazard. After the chicken is baked, we're gonna use olive oil and some lemon pepper seasoning to toss it in. I use Badia, but you can use whatever brand you want. You can even go all out and make homemade. There are certain brands that have more salt in them. And like I said, we always talk about if you are trying to watch your blood pressure, then you definitely want to use a brand that has no sodium in it. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, and I'm kind of going back and forth on whether or not I wanna do this, but I'm trying to cut down on the amount of oil that we're using in total. So I saw this recipe idea or this hack to get your lemon pepper wings crispier using baking powder. Now I use that trick when I'm making fried sweet potatoes. I don't use baking powder, but I use like arrowroot powder or arrowroot starch or potato starch to make the potato fries come out crispy. That reminds me, I'll make a recipe for that too later. We'll try to bake it and see how it comes out. But this recipe is recommending baking powder. So instead of spraying the wings with oil before you bake them, it's recommending using baking powder. So what I did was I oiled my wire rack here really well. I oiled it really well. And then I'm gonna sprinkle some baking powder and we're gonna try it out. Let's see, I got about like 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder in here. So we'll see what happens when we're done baking. But when people are trying to improve their health, you know, with all of these fad diets and everything going around, people think that meat is the issue. Meat is not the issue. The issue is how you're cooking the meat, how you're seasoning the meat, how you're preparing the meat. Are you frying it? Are you drenching it in garlic butter? You know how we like to do, especially with chicken wings and such. But it's how you're preparing the meat. So if you're cooking it like baking it, I don't know, y'all. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try some and then I'm gonna spray some because I don't really trust that. All right, so we're gonna put them on the wire rack. But like I was saying, it's about skin side up. Skin side up, y'all. Skin side up. You don't want your skin to come out soggy. But like I was saying, it's about how you prepare the meat. It doesn't matter what type of meat it is. I highly am against eating pork, but whatever floats your boat. It's not a healthy, it's not a very clean meat. Carries, you know, parasites and stuff, even when it is cooked properly. So that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time. But I don't like beef either, but it just depends on how you cook it. So if you could find a good quality beef that hasn't been treated with all of the bad stuff that they treat the animals with, then of course that would be better. But if you can't, no worries. You just want to cook it the most healthy way possible for your family. So the meat is not the problem, especially when you're trying to lose weight. The meat ain't the problem. This is not the problem. The meat is not the issue. It's how you're cooking it. So I think I'm gonna spray these last couple with a little bit of oil, just a little bit, just to get them coated. And then we'll see if there's a difference. So I'm gonna line those up a little bit different. And I didn't season these, I didn't pre-season these because I want them to come out like real legit hot wings or lemon pepper wings, like crispy and the whole 9 yards. So I didn't season them with salt because my lemon pepper seasoning has salt in it. So I don't want them to be over salty. Then it's just ruined, you know? Just nothing worse than food that's just too salty to even tolerate. So we're gonna try to force all of these guys on here. And part of the magic of the crispy wings is the air movement around them. So, I don't know. Is this gonna work? So I'm gonna bake it low and slow at first, and then I'm gonna increase the heat. This is the only raised wire rack I have, y'all. It's terrible. I need to invest in another one. I always forget when I go to the store. But yeah, the trick is the air movement around the wings. So just for memory's sake, we know the wings that have been coated with the olive oil are right here and there and there and there. And then everything else, well, it's olive oil and the baking powder. And everything else is baking powder. So we're gonna see what happens. We're going to bake in the oven at the low rack at 250 for about 30 minutes. And then after that, we're gonna put it on the top rack and raise the heat to about 425 for another 30 minutes. And then we'll see how they come out. So I'm gonna move my camera back here. And then we are going to put our wings into the oven. And this channel is all about, I'm about to take out my light here. This channel is all about finding better ways to eat. Uh-oh, am I gonna run into my, finding better ways or more healthy ways to eat the foods that we love. So I'm gonna cut my timer. Oops, I'm gonna cut my timer on, whoops. Cut my timer on 30 minutes. And then we'll see what it looks like. And then we'll come back and talk about it. All right, guys, so the timer's gone off. We are at the 30-minute mark. So now I'm gonna take the wings and bring them up to the top rack. And they still look relatively raw. So now we put them on the top rack and we are going to increase the heat to 425. Start. And then we are going to set the timer for another 45 minutes. That's about as annoying sound as you could ever want to hear. All right, so we got the timer set for 45 minutes. So about at the 20-minute mark, I'm going to rotate the pan just to make sure that the wings are more evenly cooked. And we will be back to check out the finished product. Okay guys, so here are our wings fresh out of the oven, and it seems like just there's a slight difference in crispiness between the ones that I use the baking powder on and then the ones that had the oil and the baking powder. But you won't be able to tell, they're all crispy. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna transfer all the wings into my stainless steel bowl here. Hold on. And so, excuse the noise, y'all. My son had a great week this week, made all A's on all his tests and quizzes. So he loves fried chicken. So I'm making him fried chicken, fried for real. So he's gonna have that tonight, and then he's gonna have this lemon pepper baked chicken the rest of this week. So on this channel we talk mostly about health conditions that you have that allow you, well, that don't allow you to partake in the regular food. But honestly, y'all, the regular food that's out there, all the stuff that's prepared and, you know, pre-done for you, a lot of it has a lot of unhealthy stuff in it, stuff that's making us sick. So on our channel here, we like to find healthier ways to eat the foods that we love. Now, today is Sunday, it's game day and all that stuff. So these are lemon pepper wings, and everybody loves lemon pepper wings, but they are made, baked in the oven. So if you have issues with cholesterol, the thing that makes the hot wings is the sauce, the seasoning. It gives it the pizzazz. But part of the seasoning and the sauce for a lot of hot wings, most hot wings, is butter. Butter clogs the arteries. We're not gonna use that. We're gonna use olive oil. All right? If you don't like the taste of olive oil, you can use avocado oil or any other oil that's relatively healthy. Canola oil, vegetable oil aren't really that healthy for you. So extra virgin olive oil, and then I have my lemon pepper seasoning. I use Badia. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix this together, and then we're gonna toss our wings in it. And that's gonna be the end of that. So what I'm gonna do is, I like a lot of seasoning. So this is about a quarter cup of oil. So what I'm gonna do first is pour some of the oil in the seasoning, just so we can get a good mixture going. Because I don't want to use too much oil, but that's not gonna be enough right there to coat the wings evenly. So I'm gonna pour some more. And we want it to be a good, like, liquidy, is that a word? We want it to be a good liquidy seasoning, right? So we're gonna mix it up really well. And we could brush our wings with it, but I don't have a pastry brush anymore. So I'm just gonna pour, let me taste it first. Tastes pretty good. So I'm just gonna pour my seasoning all over it. Obviously, y'all, butter tastes a lot better, but it's not good for you. If you're trying to cut down on things that harden your arteries, y'all, as we get older, our bodies are not as resilient as they were when we were in our 20s, when we were in our teens. I need a spoon. So continuing to eat like we are in our 20s and in our teens is foolish. So as you get older, you are meant, your body slowly over time, your body's processes start slowing down. And typically, as we get older, what we do, y'all? We get more money. We eat more food. We chill harder. We drink more. And while our body's processes are slowing down, just think about it. If our body's processes are slowing down and we're dumping all of this excess grease and alcohol and sugar, we can't metabolize stuff the way we used to. And then on top of that, your body is essentially breaking down. So then what are we doing to ourselves? So as we get older, we're meant to eat less food. We don't need to consume as much food. So the food that we do eat needs to be of higher quality. So that's what this channel is about. We are talking about ways to eat the same stuff that we love in more healthful ways. So you don't have to slack on flavor, taste, and all of that to eat more healthy. You just gotta think outside the box a little bit and look around for ideas. And so that's what we're doing here. We're sharing ideas. We will have some fails, but that's okay. It's all about the journey. Supposed to live to be 120, no? So the goal is to have a good quality of life, not to live to be 80 and 90 years old on medicines, on taking everything. So this is the finished product, and let me give it a taste. Let me check it out. My son's gonna be like, "Why did you eat some?" Y'all, that's good. That's good. That's really good. All right, y'all. You like my video? Give me a thumbs up. Show me some love in the comments. Turn on your post notifications. And we will see you in the next video. Peace. Wait, lemon peppery fingers.